Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all well. Welcome to my film and TV channel, and today we have a movie review and it's called The Wolf of Snow Hollow. All good stuff. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications so you know these movie review vlogs. I do TV drama reviews and little quizzes as well, and information vlogs. So if you're interested in that or know someone, please make sure you push that subscribe button and point someone else in my direction. That'd be absolutely wonderful. And make sure your notifications are set as well to public so you get notified of these. That'd be fantastic. And please, I'm aiming for lots of I like comments. If you can leave some comments, that's great. If you don't have time to leave a comment, please, thumbs ups are always much appreciated. It's obviously nice to get views, etc. But just let me know. Let me know in the comments what you think anyway of not just this review, but what you think of the film. If you've watched the film already and you're just interested to listen to someone else's view on it. Right, yes, let's get on with The Wolf of Snow Hollow. 15 rating, 83 minutes long. Comedy horror, it's classed as. Terror grips a small mountain town as bodies are discovered after each full moon. Losing sleep, raising a teenage daughter and caring for his ailing father, Officer Marshall struggles to remind himself there's no such thing as werewolves. Of course there isn't. Right, written and directed by Jim Cummings. Stars, Jim Cummings, yes, I think he made the tea as well. Ricky Lindholm and Robert Forster, the late great Robert Forster, fantastic. He actually, as I'm recording this, it's almost just past a year to the day he passed away, sadly. Any good? Yeah, well, look at the reviews on this one. Rotten Tomatoes, they're not usually high with the praise, are they? 88% from 48 critics. That's 42 fresh and 6 rotten. So there are some rotten, but that's quite an impressive percentage, isn't it, on Rotten Tomatoes? And overall it scores 7.41 out of 10, which is pretty good for this type of film, this type of genre, to be honest with you. And the consensus on Rotten Tomatoes, The Wolf of Snow Hollow treads somewhat unsteadily between horror and comedy, but writer-director star Jim Cummings' unique sensibilities make for an oddly haunting hybrid. Yeah, interesting comment. Audience on Rotten Tomatoes, only 34 people have bothered to leave a score, and it's getting 91%, so again, quite a healthy score from the audience. The Metacritic's not quite as high, there's only 8 critics reviews at the moment. It's got a 70% positivity rating, and it scores anywhere between 5 and 8.8 on the reviews. So there's 5 positive reviews and 3 mixed reviews, so no negatives, which is always a good sign. John Defoe, one of the guys we usually have a quick look at, he gave it 6 out of 10. He's from the Hollywood Reporter. He went, satisfying enough as a horror slasher flick with a black comedy aftertaste. It has some commercial appeal, but doesn't represent a step forward artistically. Well, what are we after here? Are we after some whistles and bells or something? We just want to be entertained. We don't necessarily need step forwards. I mean, I think we've had as many step forwards in film and TV we're ever likely to see, haven't we? So it's a little bit unfair from John there. RogerEbert.com, Brian's Tellerico gave it 8.8 out of 10. He did love it. He was the highest score of the lot. More than just your standard horror comedy, The Wolf of Snow Hollow is a tonal balancing act, a movie that doesn't go for laughs or horror as much as weave various tones and styles through its excellent script. I thought Cummings was a talent to watch after Thunder Road, and now I'm sure of it. Yeah, he's obviously put together Thunder Road. A little bit different to this, I must admit, Thunder Road. Internet Movie Database, you and me, Joe Public. 501 scores and reviews left as I'm recording this. 6.4 out of 10. So okay, not as gushing as some, but still not a bad score. And some of the comments thinks it's way more clever than it actually is. Well, okay. I don't know these. Does he think, oh, I'm clever, I'm going to do this? I'm not sure the reasoning behind that sort of comment, to be honest with you. I saw one reviewer saying it's like Fargo with a werewolf, and the truth is the film wants to be Fargo, but it's miles and miles away from the greatness of that film. I don't think you can make the comparisons, but a bit more on that in a moment. I have never heard of Jim Cummings till watching this movie, and now I am a big fan. He made this movie hilarious. Started off slow, almost turned it off, but I stuck through it and it really picked up. Yeah, again, I'll get back to that. I'm very similar. I think I could have written some of these myself. An unusual and unexpected film, but a good one. Solid character-driven movie, humorous, good pace throughout, and just the right amount of suspense. If you like movies like Club Dread and Shaun of the Dead, I wouldn't say Club Dread particularly, and Shaun of the Dead, this will probably tickle your fancy. There's a hint of Fargo and a sprinkle of X-Files, all stirred in together to make a great little horror mystery that had me guessing right up to the brilliant ending. And yes, I've not ignored any negative reviews. That's pretty much what everyone's saying, even though it only got 6.4 out of 10. It's a lot of positivity, and anyone who left low scores obviously didn't have the BALLS to write a review. They just left a low score and run, which... as you know, if you watch my things, I don't particularly like. You know, if you're going to leave a low score, at least make a comment as to why you've left a low score. But excuse me, we're not all up for that, are we? We'd rather just leave a 1 out of 10. It's like someone leaving a thumbs down, isn't it, and running. You know, I have one guy. I always get 1 thumbs down as soon as I put a football vlog out there. So it's the same bloke. I mean, you know, it's the same troll that they call him these days. But it's pathetic, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the day, it's very sad. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to leave a bad score or a good score, at least back up and back up what you're saying. Movie game nostalgia, right? My little thoughts on this. Yes, I mean. It was a strange film. This it was one of those films that I sort of as it went along, I enjoyed more and more. But I was literally at a stage, as someone said there, I nearly actually turned it off at one stage. But let's get this straight. Yeah, Fargo shouldn't really ever be compared or linked in any way. I'm not really nasty to this film. I mean, Fargo is superb. It's brilliant. I mean, it shouldn't be linked at all with this movie. But in all fairness, I mean, obviously the Fargo comparisons, perhaps with some of the laid back acting and some of the scenery is obviously because it's a setting. So I mean, you are going to think of Fargo immediately when you look at the police officers and the weather and the scene. You are going to make those links. But please, there's no connection whatsoever. Jim Cummings, yeah, I have seen him a couple of times. He's very annoying at the outset to me. I didn't really enjoy the early scenes with him in. He's obviously quirky, but he was a bit of a struggle initially for me anyway to invest in him. So I didn't quite like him at the start. You know, I thought, well, you know, if you're going to do this, put Jim Carrey in that sort of role. But yeah, more on that in a minute. But we did have the great Robert Forster, didn't we, early doors? So that was a sort of calming influence and kept me watching this film, to be honest with you. And also we had Ricky Lindome as well to enjoy and watch. So it wasn't too bad. But the calming influence, so we didn't really need it as the film dragged on. Obviously, we in the film, Robert Forster doesn't have many scenes, and the same with Ricky Lindome. Doesn't have a glut of screen, so you are left with Jim Cummings being the central character, and he perhaps, obviously. He should have, I was thinking early doors, he should have perhaps concentrated more on the direction and leave the acting to others. But it's weird because as you go along, you're sort of distracted initially from Cummings with the other guys. And then obviously Cummings becomes more central to it. Eventually he sort of grew on me. So eventually I thought it was okay. I mean, he did still annoy me occasionally, but his sort of style sort of did make me smile. I did like, he's not Francis Dortmund, obviously, but obviously he did actually grow on me a little bit. The only guy who didn't was it Jimmy Tatro? You'll see that if you watch the film. I mean, he was just annoying all the way through. But my apologies, Jimmy, but I'm sorry you were. Yeah, so despite these acting shortcomings initially, it's a very, very watchable. So don't be put off and stick with it. As that guy said, I did get the urge to go for the... Because I don't really turn these off. I usually do other things. I perhaps have them on in the background and do other things. So I don't particularly... Because I'm going to do a review on it. I want to at least, at least give it a chance. So... yeah, I did get the urge to perhaps do something. And then I got really involved in it and I didn't want to turn it off anymore. I mean, there's a werewolf in it. I mean, this is the whole thing. It's all there. And there have been some excellent werewolf movies. Of course, there have been one or two classic dark comedy werewolf movies as well. But I wouldn't be averse to adding this to my list if I was going to tell anyone. There's a couple of twists in it that are quite interesting. And it was, in fact, a pleasant surprise for me. I didn't expect this to entertain me as much as it did by the end. 83 minutes is probably the almost perfect length. Actually, it didn't drag anything out. It was a good ending, which I like. I don't like a half-hearted ending. I like a good ending. And it pretty much sealed the deal for me with the ending. I thought it was just right, and it was one of those things I wouldn't mind another 5 or 10 minutes. You know, it all did what it wanted to do. It got it done, got the story told, and got out, which is absolutely fair enough. And I did overall enjoy it. Okay, it isn't Fargo, but then again, Fargo didn't have a 7-foot werewolf, did it? So it can't be all bad, can it? Right, my little score. Birders, movie game nostalgia rating. I'm going to give this 7 out of 10, which if you know my ratings, that's pretty good. That's pretty high. I did enjoy it. I can understand some people who may not enjoy it as much as I did. And as I say, if the acting of Mr. Cummings puts you off, please stick with it, because he does sort of grind you down eventually and you sort of go along with it in the end. So that's not too bad. The poster. Yeah, I like the poster. It's simple, plain, but I like the image of the wolf on it. So, yeah, I'm going to give not as high as the film, but I'm going to give the poster a 6.5 out of 10 as well. So, the movie, 7 out of 10. The poster, 6.5 out of 10. That's today's scores. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you get to watch this, and I hope, yeah, let me know what you think if you get to watch this, and come back on here and just leave me a comment what you thought of it. That'll be absolutely fantastic. Please check my links on screen. If you follow or friend me on Facebook and Twitter, I do check every couple of days, and if you're after followers and friends, I will do reciprocate accordingly. And please, obviously, I put lots of stuff on Twitter and Facebook that I don't necessarily talk about in the vlog. So if you're into that, and of course, if you're into football, you know, anyone who's into football, I do support Manchester City and do vlogs on my team, history vlogs about the past and vlogs about the present as well. So you get the full cacophony, you get the full belt of Manchester City. So please, if you're into that or know anyone who might be, please point them in my direction. And if you can check my website, my little day job, so gives me a little bit of time to do things like this, and keeps me happy and entertained, and hopefully keeps you happy and entertained. Please check out my website, moviegamenostalgia.com, for old and rarer DVDs, movie posters from the 1990s and 2000s. And some board games on there as well. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, thanks for watching today. Please, whatever you're going to do with your rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family. More importantly, let's all look after each other. Until we meet again, all I can ask is please stay safe, everyone. It's Bird saying goodbye for now. Thanks for watching.